And we're going to work on the last little segment and see what we're going to work on. I'm going to tie up my hair again since it came down. And I think in my case, what I want to do is go ahead and stack myself on the foam roll. If you don't have a foam roll, you might have an extra yoga mat, you might have some blankets. I want you to roll up a pretty sizable blanket or two. I want you to roll these guys up into a big roll, tight, like this. That's going to approximate just about the size of this foam roll, give or take. But the foam roll is much more firm. I prefer using this if you have one. If you don't have one, don't feel like you're left out. Go ahead and take that blanket and roll it up. I want to stack the foam roll in my upper thoracic spine. I want it to be generally level from left to right. I can move my hands and arms around if I need to see where it's at, where it's positioned. And I've noticed that this area for me feels much better because we've been doing the yoga practice. We've been working with you. It feels more open. I usually feel more stuck, but I have some areas that are tense, dense, and tight. But because we work on it, it doesn't bother me as much. Now, I created this big stack right here, okay? I took these blankets and made a big stack because I'm trying to prop myself on the foam roll so I can, oh, there we go. So I can put my head and neck back in a way that's going to feel comfortable, okay? I've still got that bun in my hair if I need it. But I'm trying to see if I can move the foam roll into a spot in my thoracic spine that feels good, and then relax my head and neck back. Reposition this just a little bit. I can stack it higher. I can stack it lower. I can lift my body up. What feels good to you? Now when I do this, I can work on some quad strength. I can also lift and lengthen through the posterior. The shirt was getting caught. Good movement through the vertebra there. Once I hooked, it's like I took my feet and it was like I pulled my body down just a little bit. It feels like the foam roll is like grabbing this big chunk of skin across my thoracic spine and just tractioning those vertebrae down and away. And I get this little bit of pull because of the blanket being stuck on my head and the neck. It feels like I'm tractioning, like I'm lengthening through the thoracic spine, lengthening those compacted vertebrae. It's like in my neck even, I feel those cervical vertebrae, C7 through C1, just lengthening right there. And here's the thing, if I turn my head to the right, turn my head to the left, which way? Do I want to look up? Ooh, I want to look down? Ooh, I like down. I'm going to bring my hips up just a little bit higher because that feels good to me. Now this to me is the lazy yoga. If I got to a point where I just wanted to sit, I will grab another foam roll and put another foam roll underneath me so I can prop. I'm going to bring myself down because I don't have one right now. I'm going to scoot down just a little bit because it felt like I wanted to move down that way. It felt like it had more stability, more structural integrity. If you're tired of your arms being up ahead, overhead, can you bring them out to the side? Can you bend at the elbow? Can you roll forward? Can you roll? Yeah, sure. Any direction you want. What feels good to you? Just decrease strain while working on a spot. I still mainly feel that through that upper thoracic, through my cervical spine. But again, that's a problem area for me, right? So I tend to want to do this all the time. If I can, maybe once a day, just to open this area. As it rolled up and down, because there's this pressure from the blanket, there's this little head tuck. When I roll down, it creates a little more length on my neck that feels good. Now, if I bring the right foot to the center, can I balance on the right foot and lift the left leg up? Oh! Now, can you play with that movement? Create length in the thoracic spine, in the neck while you do it. I'm going to walk that left foot down right where the left foot was. Lengthen that left leg up. Do you notice, is it harder on one side than the other? Ambidextrous. Ambidexterity. Right hemisphere controls the left side. Left hemisphere controls the right side. And advanced meditators show more balanced firing across the hemispheres, with information crossing equally across the corpus callosum. Aha! Biohacking. Now I'm going to move a little bit lower and see. No, not quite there. A little bit lower. Yeah. So I've almost got the foam roll now down as a pillow. The blankets aren't even really being used. I'm hooking right into the cervical spine, and I'm going to undulate from side to side, trying to find a good spot to open up. Do I want to tuck the chin? Lift the head? Do I want to look up and back? All totally fine. Just go slow. These are more delicate structures. I can move the foam roll higher. I can move it lower. I can hook anywhere into those problem areas in the neck. For you guys who have problems with this area, this is amazing, amazing broad work. How broad is the foam roll compared to my forearm? That's where you're getting all this amazing pressure. Now I can kind of tuck, right there. Right at splenius capitis, right at the base of the skull on the right side. Almost makes my eyes roll back in my head. Breathe. And to the left. I want to do the same thing, left side, change my hip position just so I can lean to that left a little bit more easily. And I'll feel nearly the same tension. Do you notice how I feel more pain on the left side, but I feel more tightness on the right? Don't know. Just differences. I'm going to hook the head and neck back. I had a little spontaneous cavitation as I move my neck there. Right, oh yeah. So this big broad line up and around my temples, up and around the temporal bone, feels like it goes back to my sphenoid, back to my temples, almost behind my left eye. Right there. Ooh-wee. And I'm going to reach down and grab my tennis ball. Hopefully you have one. I'm going to put my head and neck in a mostly neutral position. I've moved the foam roller right to the base of my skull because it feels like I've got a good pillow here. I could just rest for a second. That left and right side was pretty intense. I'm going to move this down to my gluteals. And this is all fleshy along the sacrum. I just want to feel, where do I feel tension there? And I'm almost dead center in the keister. I'm right along piriformis, form of a pear, Latin, piriformis, pear-shaped. I'm hooking right along the sacrum, like if this was my tailbone, and this is out over the sacrum, I'm kind of in the middle, right along this border here, where piriformis comes and inserts on the inside of the sacrum. Right right in there. If I want to go a little bit more lateral, oh yeah. Now I'm going to let my leg roll out because I know that's what I want, is a little more lateral. Now, the more I lift this left hip, I can lift the left hip on top to give myself more pressure. I can change the position of this leg in any way I want. I can straighten it out. I can bend it. I'm going to press the foam roller just a little higher. I'm going to press the back of my head down. I want to strengthen this posterior cervical spine by tucking my chin and pressing back. I'm in retraction here. But I'm going to use that for a second to kind of strengthen these muscles. The extensors of the neck, not the flexors. I'm going to roll off of the tennis ball, move just a little bit more lateral again. Holy moly. Oh, I got some stuff. There's some gold. Oh, in there. Feel a broad kind of referred pain. I'm pretty clearly in gluteus medius on the lower portion. It's more to the outside. It's more lateral. So I'm hooking that tennis ball right into gluteus medius, and I feel some referred pain down the IT band. And that's what people are having problems with. It's not just vastus lateralis. They're having problems with gluteus medius and the nerves that feed down the outside of the leg. I feel like it pulls right into the joint, right at the outside of my knee where I've had a problem. I can move the head and neck around any way I want. I can lower the foam roll. I can work on both. I can work on, oh, splenius. Could I stack? Oh, yeah. Now you're working two spots. Usually my work is going to go this way. It doesn't matter if you're working on somebody else. It doesn't matter if you're working on yourself. You can do two things, which means you work on a primary position and then you add secondary and tertiary elements. And just because I know my body, I'm going to move just a little bit more lateral again. Oh, right there. Oh, that's such a good spot. I get this dull ache because it's getting real close to the tensor fascia lata. Latin again. I'm not even sure exactly what that means. Tensor fascia lata. Gotta look that one up. Leaning into that right hip. I feel this dull ache. It doesn't feel like the other. The other felt like just kind of a nervy kind of sensation. This feels like there's something off. There's something about this tissue that it's very tight and it's referring pain down to the outside of my knee. I, for a moment, just stopped focusing on my neck because it was so intense in the hips. And then slowly, I'm going to roll back onto my back, back to center. I'm going to change that tennis ball, opposite side, opposite glute. I'm going to go a little closer down towards the tailbone, kind of roll it open. No, not much there. Go a little bit higher, kind of piriformis. Yeah, there's a little tightness. You'll notice that I just stacked this leg. So one, these adductors, gracilis, adductor magnus, can kind of lengthen and fall open. But it's massaging into piriformis, into gluteus maximus. You can move the head and neck around. Where do you want to apply pressure? What feels good? What's going to make you feel more relaxed, more released as we move toward Shavasana? Not as much tension on this left side. You're going to move it up into the, ooh, okay, that's a little better. Little higher, a little more gluteus medius, a little more lateral, a little more to the outside. I'm going to rock my hips just a little bit on that spot because that feels good to me. And I felt the sensation just start to diminish. I'm going to move again, the tennis ball a little bit more lateral. Now I'm above the greater trochanter, the bony knob right here. People say that's their hip bone. You're in between that and the iliac crest. There's this fleshy junction over here, gluteus medius minimus. I'm going to roll my hips just a little bit to the side so I can stack. Oh yeah. Oh, right there. Breathe through the nose. Don't hold your breath. I'm going to drop this right hip. I just wanted to feel what the pressure was like if I brought, ooh, yeah. For me, it was like I needed a little bit more pressure. So if I bring this right, oh, right there. Ooh, tender, tender, tender. I'm taking weight off by leaning back on this right leg or leaning in by bringing it forward. But play with your own body positioning to try to open up that space. And my hip, again, it popped for this little plunk right on this right hip where we open that guy up some. I'm going to roll my head and neck to the side. I'm going to put the tennis ball out on my towel so it doesn't roll away. I want to check and see how our time is doing again, see if we're getting close to being finished. And let's see, what do we got here? What time is it? Yeah, we're just a little bit over. I'm going to go ahead and go into Shavasana. Just follow along with me. I'm going to move the foam roll and the blankets out of the way. I'm going to lay down on my back. And in my case, I take the bun out of my hair, bring my head up and above. I'm still solidly on the mat. And just like always, I'm going to lift my head and neck up and away. I'm going to press the back of the head down into the mat, tucking the shoulder blades down and away. Down and away several times. Then I'm going to lift my bottom and roll out my spine. Hips width distance between the feet. Arms down at your side. Breathe deeply through your nose. If you need to shift, if you need to lift your hips, if you need to bend your knees to create a little space for that arch in your low back to feel comfortable, do. Relax your feet, relax your legs, relax your knees, relax your hips, relax your back, relax your shoulder blades, relax your upper, lower arm and carpals and hands. Breathe. Relax your throat, relax your jaw, relax your scalp. Every breath, all tension dissipates. I want your muscles to relax so much that it feels like the bones start to fall down towards the ground. If we were on a ship on the ocean and I threw a gold coin off into the water, flicked it, bling. It hit the water and just sink. Oh, down through the water, down through the depths, all the way down, and rest in the sand. Let your bones sink down, just like that gold coin. Breathe through your nose. Scan your body. Are you holding tension? Is something tense? So instead of avoiding the tension, can you gently focus on it? Can you squeeze the muscles around that area of tension? Hold it. Squeeze. And then on the exhale, unwind. Relax. Ease, poise, grace, soft. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly open your eyes. You can roll comfortably onto your right side. Kind of fetal position. And then using your arms, you can bring yourself up to seated. And backs of the hands on the knees, pointer finger and thumb touch either hand. Long spine, long and tall. Big in-breath, long spine. Crown lifted up and out of the shoulders. Palms together, prayer position, big in-breath. And as you exhale, round forward. You can shimmy in your hips if you need to open and stretch through there. Honoring your practice today and all your patience. And a happy body that allows you to practice. Thank you and namaste. So, tomorrow I will be out tending to other activities. But I will probably resume on Friday. I'm going to have these videos again up on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube channel. I wrote a really fiery, kind of ornery blog post from some questions from a student about the massage industry currently. You can read that on my website. And again, here on Facebook, the whole video will be here. Here on YouTube, both the portions from a different audio source, slightly different camera angle. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you again soon. And if you want to do anything for me, share that link for the free trial subscription service from the store on my website. You'll find it here on the Facebook page. You can share it if you guys want to join that. There are 500 hours of my courses, classes, curriculum, and instruction there that you can observe and handle and work with. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you again on Friday. If you have any questions for me, feel free to write me wherever you are.